It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders on Monday night.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And we are underway from FedEx Field. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here are the Commanders making their way out. Leading them out, it's the rookie out of North Carolina, Sam Howell.
And he left North Carolina with most of his school's records, and at one point was thought to be maybe the #1 quarterback in his draft class. He does bring deceptive athleticism and plenty of upside to the table. Add some consistency, and maybe he can really unlock what he can be in the NFL.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And Howell will throw it. Over the middle here to Brown. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Howell throwing on first down here. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Second down, Howell back to pass. Buying time to his left. And it's caught. Touchdown, Washington. J.D. McKissick, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Commanders put the night on as they take the early lead. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top 2 options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route, worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through 3. That was impressive.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no run back here for Slayton, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability and the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun. He can throw it deep, throw it short, and of course take off out of the pocket and beat you with his legs as well.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jones, he'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the 1st. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop it before he could get to the marker.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Back deep, Alex Erickson. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
That's right. Let's have some fun. Let's get some career straight up.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson evades him at the 10. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down, and picked it up.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan, and all in the trenches.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Howell, he'll look to throw it. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Completes this to J.D. McKissick out of the backfield. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I think a touchdown pass on the first drive. He comes right back, and he's bringing it back really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser-focused confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. Finding room at midfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, they showed a 5-receiver set, had the backfield empty, and lined the running back out to the left. Plenty for the quarterback to process both pre- and post-snap, but he was able to find his man, and it turns into a big play.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 43. It's Howell with another throw. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Throwing again on second down. Powell. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bates. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
On first down, Howell. Off to Thomas on the left side. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards that time to push him up, first and goal.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They want to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter. Now they are set up first and goal.
Another throw for Howell. And he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Here's Howell to throw on second down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Commanders go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 14-0. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no run back here for Slayton, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive.
They found a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
From the 30 on second down, Jones. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing, Jones. That's complete to Slayton. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. So roughing the passer call is accepted, and this officiating crew not making very many friends here with this crowd.
Yeah, we all know that everyone accuses the officials of kind of playing to the home team, but not in this case. They just tried to administer the game the way it's supposed to be. That drew the flag.
Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson, and he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Jones. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Jones on 1st and 10. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones, and his throw is incomplete. Daniel Bellinger, the intended target that time. And it's 3rd and 4.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Jones. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. From the left hash, this from 37. Gano's kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3. Because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started. The way that they're going about doing things right now, they've got a chance for that third consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Back to throw, Howell. This to McLaurin out on the left side. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Howell to the air on 1st and 10. Complete, it's Dotson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and a yard. Off play action, it's Howell. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Robinson up the middle, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Howell now to throw it. His man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
This will be just about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. Second down, Howell now. Touchdown! Terry McLaurin with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Now Joey Sly for the point after. And it's 21-3. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now out come the Giants. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Jones now throwing to start the drive. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. Erickson now to return. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Sam Howell and the rest of this offense running back out. He really continues to pick apart this defense. Last drive, perfect, and it culminated in his 3rd touchdown pass.
As long as we've been doing this, how many times has a player in this type of a zone described the game as really slowed down?
Yep.
So right now, instead of warp speed, it's
snail's pace.
Oh, snail's pace for him, and he can do whatever he wants. Feels like he has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and his offensive line has been giving him that.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the 1st down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Let's do this, man.
Howell throwing on 1st down here. Throw right side complete to Dotson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Howell's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. First down, Howell to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Brandon, you know I'm all about quarterbacks protecting themselves, but I have to admit it. I liked what I just saw there. That rookie wasn't afraid of absorbing a big hit. Now, you don't want to see him taking those shots all game long, but he picked up the first down, kept fighting for yards, and was willing to embrace some contact to keep the play moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number one job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Howell. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Julian Love picks it. And the Giants are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Absolutely a golden opportunity missed there to add to their lead and really cap off an impressive drive because they've got the advantage and plenty of time to add to it. But on the flip side, plenty of time for an opposing comeback as well. So when you have the chance to distance yourself not just so early, partner, you know you don't want to let it slip away.
The New York set to take the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. It's Barkley on the counter. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. To Barkley on the check down. Finding space at the 40. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Here's Jones on first down. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Wan'Dale Robinson, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety back all game, so it went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Eight yards to go on 2nd down. Back to throw. Jones steps away to his left. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. What a decision and what a run by Daniel Jones. And the Giants get a bit closer. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns in to 6 points. Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
And Brandon, how many times have we talked with these rookies out there, and then we finally hear from them that the game slowed down and they're able to handle things? Not so far for this rookie, because right now, back-to-back drives, they picked him off. Not college football anymore. He's got to find a way to handle what these defenses throw at him.
Throwing to start the drive. Jones. He's got Bellinger. They'll get him to the ground at the 20, following it up a 4.
How about the timing on that one? Where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. Back to throw. Jones. This is caught, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
I didn't like the play call. I loved it. Running situation for sure on 4th and short. They got the defense to commit too many men in the box to stop the run and have the guts to go for the pass instead. And as a result, they're set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Looking to throw. Jones. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Giants are back within a score. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Gano for the extra point. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Darnay Holmes. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throw here, Howell. That's going to be caught by Samuel. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
We got to go. 10 in a row. 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 10
Howell throwing on third down here.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Pulled in at the 24. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return, and it'll be football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field.
The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
From the 36, Jones. And this is incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Off the bootleg, Jones. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. No gain on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Jamie Gillen now on to punt. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now Howell. And he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Howell.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. 5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. On 3rd down, Robinson. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And the Giants ready to come out now. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. Throwing Jones. To Shepard, complete over the middle.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now Jones, throwing on 1st down.
Throw right side, taken in by Bellinger.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
This is a perfect example of what separates the elite quarterbacks. Has his man open, way too anxious, ends up firing it in there with way too much zip on it. The great ones, they know how to relax and put the appropriate velocity on the football.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Now Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. Gano's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within a point.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And Gibson decides against bringing it out. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field.
And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
On 1st down, Howell. This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Howell to the air on 1st and 10. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Howell.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
It's game time. What's the deal? Let's be perfect. Oh, boy. Let's have some fun. Let's get something going now.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Howell, he'll look to throw it.
Thomas brings it in. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 39. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
And once more, Howell back to the air.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out the flat.
Yeah, so many times quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
On the draw, Robinson. 7 yards there and a first down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away from the 6. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for the Giants. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. Meanwhile, for Washington, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
Here comes Darius Slayton from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw taken in by Slayton. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
This is your game, baby. Play a little aggressive, baby. It's game time.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Consecutive positive snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Jones. This pass into the hands of Bellinger. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 45-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. It's 37.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. Run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that'll bring him back within a point. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. And let's get the ball back for us.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. First possession of the second half now for Washington.
First and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders.
At their own 25-yard line.
First down, Hal to throw. Complete, it's Dotson.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
From the 31,
Howell. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
They went with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Howell.
Thomas has got it, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hal throwing on 1st down here. Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end Bates. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
You gotta be big time now. All right, go get him now.
Howell.
And it's incomplete.
So it looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, Howell.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for first and goal. Howell down to throw it.
Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Bates. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Second down and goal. Howell. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, a 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long, and this time that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no run back here for Slayton, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jones fakes the give to Barkley.
He's got Bellinger.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
Show them what you got. Let's play now, baby. Let's play. You call it. Keep on.
A first down carry for Barkley. Oh, able to avoid him. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll go to Barkley again. Gets past one man.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Barkley, inside handoff. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Here's a give to Barkley. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their number one goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Back to throw. Jones. Escaping the... And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack. Well, we saw him score on the ground earlier in the ball game. This time, the defense says not so fast.
Yeah, that's good scouting and good awareness, isn't it? Because you always have to be wary of him keeping it himself, especially in this part of the field. Because if he doesn't like what he sees, you know he'll take off and try and go for it himself.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Gano's kick is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And Gibson decides against bringing it out. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
What you talking about, ref?
Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight? What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Here's a give to Samuel. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On the give, here's Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Howell throwing on third down here. Dancing to his left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's been a nice day for him as a passer and as a runner. One of the few mistakes he's made in this ball game. The wrong choice on that one. That one goes incomplete.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. This is taken at the 15. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take fourth quarter lead. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this day, has got to be priority 1.
6 DBs on the field for Washington on third down. Again, it's Barkley. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Here comes Erickson. I call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. And the Washington offense heading out. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Now 1st and 10 here for Howell and the Commanders at their 35-yard line. They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. Out left to Dotson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
And Howe will throw it.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Azeez Ojulari from his outside linebacker spot gets him down there for a loss of 4.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
They'll give it to Samuel.
Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
Here's Howe.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 39. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
On first down, Howe.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
2nd down and a run by Robinson.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've had success getting the ball to him out of the backfield, but this time they had a man right on him. He was able to break that play up before he could get started.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Powell, another throw on 2nd down.
And he will find his man, Samuel. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards on the play.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Robinson.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on first down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Robinson again. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
Howell, 3rd and goal. Looking and finding Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Logan Thomas there to make the grab. And the Commanders will add to their 4th quarter lead. They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead. And that's what he did.
An extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Slayton going to take it from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
And New York set to take the field.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Trying to connect there with Rondale Robinson.
And it's 3rd down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing Jones. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Here's Jay Gillendown
as he'll come on pick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he exists 6.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
Jahan Dotson getting set for this next drive.
He's been a load for them to handle.
Catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit. Not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 4. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And the Giants are right back in this football game. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Jones. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
It's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. He ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn that field and gain any yardage.
Jones to throw on 3rd down. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
They'll run with Barkley. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Saquon Barkley denied on 4th down. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. A 1st and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders at their own 43. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Robinson, he'll try the left side. Bulldozes past him. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 55 rushing yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They'll run again here with Robinson. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Washington!
Brian Robinson Jr., 47 yards. And the Commanders have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter.
Well, that's a good-looking rookie right there. I love how he let the play set up and then showed that explosiveness that I saw on tape in college. Remember I showed you the clip of what he was doing and setting up blocks, and then he would just go? We saw it on that play right there. That one was fun to watch.
Sly on for the extra point.
And that one makes this a 19-point game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Slayton going to take it from the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. New York ready to go again offensively. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Jones now throwing to start the drive. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
To throw again on second down. Jones to the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Jones on 1st and 10. And the ball is knocked out.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Robinson with another carry.
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.